Welcome back, everybody. The starting 11, it's back. And no, I'm not wearing this mask because of popular demand. It's our special Halloween week edition of starting 11. Goddamn, there were some nightmares this weekend, I can tell you. Now, little housekeeping. First off, Adelia still recuperating from back surgery. As you guys know, been out the last couple weeks. Managed to try and drag this show along without her. Now, of course, that's the company line, you guys. But between you and me, since she was a little girl, Delia always had a dream. That dream was to be a lion tamer at the circus. She's been studying, she's been working. But it turns out lions are vicious animals and want to kill her. So she had to drop it. But that doesn't mean the dream has to die. So Adelia, unbeknownst to the rest of us, has been slowly learning how to ride a unicycle. We've always heard that she's had some skills as a juggler. So she's juggling.
What in the hell are you talking about?
Oh, hi, Adelia.
Hi, Snark. I'm a unicyclist now?
I would say, well, not professionally, not yet.
I don't even want to think about how long it's been since I've ridden a bicycle, let alone even think of attempting to ride a unicycle.
It's got to be it's got to be twice as hard to ride a bicycle. There's two wheels.
I don't know.
Listen, I didn't even mention the part that you were going to be doing it on a high rope.
Yeah, no. Me and heights do not get along.
Didn't have to be really high.
Still.
Just 30 feet or so. Enough to make Robin an orphan. That's it.
Robin?
Yeah. Wasn't his parents, weren't they some kind of high wire acts? Oh, they were.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. They were.
Circus freaks. They were circus freaks. I'm not saying you would have been. Far from it. What I am saying is, welcome back to the show, Adelia. So I don't have to hear the sound of my own voice all the time and what it tells me to do.
Thank you, Snark. Thank you for holding it down the last couple of weeks while I recuperated from the back surgery. I would have much rather been on here than
you did have back surgery.
Having the back surgery. Yes, I had back surgery.
That's weird. That's not what I thought at all. Anyways, we're back. We're back talking. Now, if you did have back surgery and we're recuperating, wink. Oh, I can't wink with this thing. Wait. Wink. Did you have much time to watch the matches this weekend?
No. I slept most of the time the matches were going on this weekend and really only watched Arsenal's, but I'm here anyways.
Well,
to talk about these things with you. So what happened this weekend?
I'll just say this. I am a little envious. If having back surgery would have helped me not watch Chelsea take on Brighton, I would have been a much happier man. That was a bad morning for me. It was a bad morning. It's like Brighton got to live out the jilted lover fantasy. You know what I mean? Graham Potter moves on to bigger, better things, drops them like a sack of potatoes to go to the bright lights, the big city. The fame, the fortune, all of it. Goes back home, and the Seagulls, for their first time in their history, not only do they beat Chelsea in a league game, they humiliate and absolutely thrash them 4-1. It was never close. Like Trossard's goal was 5 minutes in. and that just set the pace. 2 own goals by Chelsea because they were getting folded in on themselves. There is nothing there. There is nothing. Like you could see how much this team needs Reece James. How much like and then N'Golo Conte, if he was back, sure, that's a difference. But here's the thing: Chelsea have millions and millions and millions of pounds of players waiting to play. Now, none of them, like they were playing Raheem Sterling at right wing back again. It doesn't work. Raheem Sterling. They spent all this money on him to score goals. He's had 3 goals this year. 3. On yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand, and I think Potter's been helped out a little bit. He's put formations onto the pitch that don't work, and they seem to be able to switch things up at halftime because they've held it close, either scoreless at the half like they were against Man U, but this time down 3-0. There was just nothing left. Havertz got one just as the second half started, and then there was nothing else. There was no pressure. They were never troubled. Where is the goal scoring? This is Chelsea Football Club. This isn't your run of the mill Joe Blow nose picker club. It's Chelsea, and they can't score. Well they can score. They have no problem scoring on themselves. It seems. I absolutely didn't. And then Kepa getting injured, so Kepa's out. He was the one bright spot over the last few weeks. I thought he's played really well. Put Mendy back in. Mendy was okay. Let in the one goal. It was dying time and stuff like that. We were out of it. We were pressing and we couldn't do anything. So 4-1 final. A disgrace. A disgrace in Brighton. Graham Potter. Yeah. Graham Potter. I think has to start figuring out this club. Enough's enough. Well, there's 2 weeks now. 2 weeks to go until the World Cup. There's 2 match weeks to go to the World Cup. Chelsea's currently sitting in 6th out of European competition. And then you see other teams and how they're playing. Where do they make up this ground? Even Man U. Man U's starting to get it together again. They're starting to figure things out. And Chelsea's being left behind, and it's frustrating. As a fan, it's a frustrating time to enjoy Chelsea football. But also, this is a product of like 4 different people's visions of how a football team should be. So I won't it's not going to be like it was. I don't think it won't be like back in the Roman days where I don't think yes, we have sacked a manager this year, but I think Potter is going to be able to sit in there and get the players he needed. But things have to change. Kukurea, come on, buddy. Is this guy been a mistake or what? Oh my God! And the money they paid, and then he gets to play with his old coach. Like, I don't understand how difficult it is for Chelsea to find goals this year. Yes, Reece James would be a big help, but if you're depending on goals from your backs and goals for your backs to set ups, then it's not great, not ideal. And I don't want to get off on too much more of a rant about Chelsea because I'm going to go to sleep crying tonight again. And I did enough of that this weekend. And it's unfair. All right, moving on. God damn it, Adelia.
I'm sorry, Snark.
What are you gonna do? What's gonna do? Let's talk Leicester, Man City, real quick. The Foxes actually played them pretty well. I don't know if you saw Erling Haaland missed the match, some kind of ankle issue.
Yeah, I saw he was injured.
Yeah, I would have said, yeah, plenty of time to rest up because you're not playing for a whole month. Erling. But what a shot by Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know if you saw it, but off a free kick and just picks the top corner. Lovely. A lovely bit of business for Kevin De Bruyne. What are you going to do about Man City? Well, I should be talking to the Arsenal fan here. Like when those teams play, oh my goodness, it's just quality. There's quality up and down the roster, goals from everywhere. Uh, but the one thing you can always say about each of them is their defense, but they held the Foxes off the sheet, which is they should. But
Yeah.
a 1-0 lead, or a 1-0 win. Uh, Man City just being Man City, you're not going to be able to stop them if you're the poor Foxes. That's for sure. The next match I wanted to talk about, and then match. Okay, so there's a couple of things, Adelia.
Hmm.
I hate when Chelsea lose. I hate it.
Hmm.
I do love when other teams lose, though. I love it
Yes.
almost as much. You know what I do not love at all?
What? What?
When some bottom feeding club is leading a team. Let's say Tottenham. Let's say we're talking AFC Bournemouth versus Tottenham, and Bournemouth has a 2-0 lead, and they frigging blow it and give up 3 goals in the second half. Yes, to a superior Spurs club. That seems that nobody's been able to figure out how to defend them in a set piece, which is bananas. So all they do is score, and they didn't even get one from Harry Kane. But yeah, it was what with 2 minutes into extra time they scored or something like that to win the game. Bournemouth at home couldn't hold it down. I was gutted. I think I was more disappointed in that because I was watching the Chelsea game as it was going on. I had to go back to watch the uh, the Bournemouth Tottenham game, and I was like gutted. Like I saw was the score 2-0 at the half, and I said, okay, this or 2-0 just after half, and this is going to be fine. I don't have to worry about this game now. I'll just focus on this, and then I'll pick myself up. I'll pick myself up with a Tottenham defeat after I watched Chelsea get trounced. And yeah, there was no picking up. It just got worse. It's just like someone ran over my foot with my stolen car. Like, ugh, awful. A terrible time. Yeah, Davies. Yeah, there were nice goals. Davies was good. Yeah, whatever. Like, come on, guys. Bournemouth, you don't have to do much, but just hold on to a 2-0 lead. That's all you had to do. Buggers. Uh, the Brentford Wolves game was also interesting. It was a 1-1 draw. The goals were whatever. Uh, Diego Costa, maybe his best match in a yellow shirt. I'll have to say that is, of course, until 7 minutes into a 10. Like, and again, what is with all the goddamn extra time played in extra time? I think there was 2 or 3 matches this week where they had 10 minutes added on. I think one was at the end of the
That's
first half.
crazy.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. So 10 minutes added on into a 1-all game. And oh, what's the name of that poor kid? Ben Mee, who scored the goal for Brentford, was defending in the box in the 7th minute. And for some reason, Diego Costa was just up at the top of the box. He was being held onto a little bit. And so, in classic Diego Costa fashion, turned around and headbutted that poor guy in the face.
Oh God.
Nobody
Oh
saw it.
man.
The cameras aren't on it, so the announcers are talking and they see this guy on the ground and it's like, well, what the heck is this? They have to go to VAR. I think the VAR took about 15 seconds, and they just show, yeah, poor Diego Costa. I love you, Diego Costa, but you are bananas, and just boom, like a little boom, right in the face. This kid down, and it was legit. There was no faking that one. That kid went down. Uh, so yeah, an interesting end to that match. Diego Costa might not uh, might not see the pitch for a couple of games here. He may have the next little while off because I could assume he's at least going to be
I would
suspended for the next match.
I would think so. A
Yeah,
headbutt like that, get set off by VAR, definite suspension.
yeah, maybe 2. So he may not be able to suit up again until after the World Cup. That's if the Wolves want to keep him. which is a shame. Uh, what else we have? We have Palace and Southampton, which was a pretty entertaining match. Uh, Edward, Edward was the game winner. You also had another one called back for offside. Yeah, it was a pretty good clean sheet by Guaita, the goalie there for Crystal Palace. Um, I don't know how happy it is to make you to see Patrick Vieira win football games still.
Oh, it
Uh,
does. It
it does
does.
not make me happy. I
I
can tell you
didn't
that.
think so.
Is one enough? You ask me.
As long as they're not against Arsenal, Patrick Vieira can coach Crystal Palace to all the wins he wants.
All right. Uh, okay. Speaking of thrashings, a team very much on the rise. Newcastle decided to hand it to Aston Villa this week.
Yeah.
Always, always happy to see Aston Villa take a stomping, 4-0, and it wasn't even that close. Uh, yeah, there's not much you can say when it's 4-0. Goalie didn't have to work hard. We scored. Joe Linton had a really good game. Miguel Almiron, again, a goal scorer. I talked about him, I believe, on the last episode. Just picking out players I can see quality from. And Almiron, oh my goodness gracious, this guy. Like I said, Newcastle, they have all the money, but they spend it well. It's not like they're breaking the bank.
Yeah.
They're finding quality players. They're playing a system together. You can see the cohesiveness there. They work well. It's
They've got a good
stre-
manager
they
in
got a real
Eddie
good
Howe.
manager. They stress me the fuck out because they are
Yeah.
taking Chelsea's spot. I don't see they are they've gotten into such a groove, into such a run. We'll see what happens at World Cup. Hopefully there'll be injuries. Hopefully there'll be a swath of injuries, but that's the only way I can see Chelsea even trying to get back into European competition this year because yeesh, Newcastle is really on a run. Yeah, yeah, Man U just ahead of Chelsea now too. So we'll see. Um, Fulham and Everton played 0-0, but it was a good game. I think Lampard should be pretty happy that he got the point at the Cottage. Silva should be a little upset with his team. They had some good chances. I thought Willian played really well uh, for Fulham. It's fucking weird to see him in that shirt, though. I could tell you that. Just like the face and everything looks right. Like he looks like him. And also, I believe he's now the highest capped Portuguese player in Premier League history. So good on you, Willian. Um,
Isn't he
uh,
Brazilian?
yeah, sorry, I mean Brazilian player in Premier League history, but yeah, he's played a lot.
Yeah,
Played a
he's
lot
played a
for
lot in the Premier League.
yeah. Pickford. That's a great day at work for Everton in the net. He deserved that friggin' clean sheet. Yeah, a real good match. Now again, Man U and West Ham. West Ham. Come on, who cares? Uh, Rashford, a real nice header. It was a nice cross in, a nice header. That was the most pressure I think in the match. It just led up to it. A header goal, no real fight back uh, from a Man U team that you know questionable defense. So I don't know if they're just not prepared. West Ham, but look for coaching changes soon. There. Now I've rushed through that one because I want to get back on the show, back active here. Let's talk Arsenal 5 and Forest, who kept it close, 0. They kept it close
That was keeping
because
it close.
they deserve to lose by more.
Yeah, Forest were not good at all. Um,
No,
but amazingly, if you can believe this, that was Arsenal's first clean sheet at home in the Premier League this season.
I can believe it. Like we've talked about it before, how their defense is hit or miss and usually miss. But
Yeah,
they can outscore their troubles. They would have outscored a million troubles. It looked like on Saturday.
Yeah. I was maybe it's just the Southampton effect from last week, but
Mm,
I was a little concerned when it was only 1-0 at halftime that this was going to be one of those games where Forest would come out with renewed energy and nick a goal, and then it's what's happening. That did not happen. Arsenal came out after the break and just took complete control. Not that they didn't already have control, but they took complete control at that point.
gonna talk.
And
Let's talk about a guy who never hit the score sheet, who got 2 assists and was all over the place. He's the guy who drove the play, and that's Gabby Jesus, who
yeah,
was absolutely terrific. Martinelli with the first goal was fun, but you also wanted to talk about Reese here as well. Um,
yeah,
that's
uh,
yeah, Reese Nelson. That says he only scored in the league once before. Is that right?
yeah. His first goals for Arsenal for like 2 years in the Premier League at the very least. It might be overall. He's just been hit by injuries and he's been out on loan. He's come back. He is an incredibly talented winger, and I feel like he can fill that like backup role for Saka really well. Saka obviously got kicked really hard and kicked out of the game basically. Like Forrest just being Forrest, I guess. It's like the play on these kids sometimes for Arsenal to just kick them out of the game. Well, they got Saka out of that game, and Reece Nelson came on and scored 2 goals and almost had a hat trick.
He was terrific.
So he was great when he came on. The
Yep.
thing about Reece Nelson is sometimes in the past he's come on and you can tell he's nervous. It's the big stage, the Premier League and all this. He didn't seem that way when he came on in this game.
Yeah, it didn't look like Forrest struck any fear.
No, no. He did not seem
It-
afraid of anybody for Forest, and he did really, really well. He got the 2 goals pretty quick succession.
yeah,
Those 4 goals they scored in the second half came pretty much back to back to back.
one off a
And
lovely pass from Jesus as well.
yeah, Gabriel Jesus was really, really good. I feel like we left him on as trying to get him a goal. He hasn't scored a goal in a few weeks, so
Yeah, some idiot picked him to win the the Golden Boot for the league this year. I can't remember who did it.
yeah. Um, but that was before we knew Holland was a
Ugh,
machine.
what a Frankenstein's monster. Uh, yeah, it was party time too. Partey scores a goal. Your captain
That was a
scores a
great
goal.
goal from Thomas.
Hmm.
Uh, Odegaard with a good goal. They were all really good goals, I thought. So it
And
wasn't like nothing fluke about the goals. They were deserved for the way they were playing. I was just really impressed with what I saw, especially when they came out and just sort of like were cutthroat at the beginning of the second half and got, pressed the advantage more. Because that's my one real complaint about the first half is we scored the early goal like 5 minutes in or whatever it was,
sat back a
and
little bit.
then we sort of sat back. Like Forest were defending with everybody, so you have to break them down, obviously. But we just seemed to be like content to be a goal up because we knew Forest weren't a threat to score. Like I can't even remember how many touches Ramsdale had in the entire game. Not many. So
I have it written down. It's maybe the easiest clean sheet he'll ever have in his entire
maybe,
career. They had, I believe, 2 shots on net,
yeah,
and it's not like they were strikes there. He had to jump and stuff like that. It's like he just had to be in the way. That was it.
yeah. There were no real bad moments. The worst moment defensively was when Gabriel Magalhaes just basically passed the ball straight to a Forest player in the box, and Ben White made the block. That might be one of the worst passes I've seen an Arsenal player make in some time, but it didn't cost us anything because Forest weren't really all that much of a threat, and we were already, I think, 5-0 up at that point, anyways.
One thing you
But
can
I'm
take with you is that isn't the worst pass of the week. That's
no,
coming up next. But
okay,
let's talk a little more about Arsenal first. I'm wondering if they went into the half and Arteta had to mention how bad City beat these guys. It's like, listen, they hammered these guys and it wasn't close. You guys are letting them hang in there. Go show them who you are, for Christ's sakes. because
Yeah.
yeah, it was a different it was a bloodthirsty Arsenal squad in the second half, and I
Yep.
was terrified.
I am just really happy with where we happen to be. I mean, we still have the Premiership top of the table, which
Yep.
I'm shocked about. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all. I don't think we're going to win the league. I mean, City averages 92 points in the last 5 years, I read. So I don't see us beating them this year. But like, get us to 6 games to go, and we're still in this position. Then maybe I'll think we might. But
Yep. I could see you guys hanging in there. Why not? Yeah, you guys are playing every bit as well as City. Uh, you guys score goals up and down your lineup, just like City. I think when it comes down to it, I would imagine that your defenses are pretty much the same. I think you have a better keeper. I am not sold on the goalkeeping in City, but I really like it in Ramsdale. So if it came down to shots or something like that, for whatever reason, at some point, I would go advantage Arsenal for goal scoring. You know, you have to be able to shut down one guy, uh, or so you'd think. Except
yeah,
they, they could just push De Bruyne up. They could push, phone up. There's so much quality
they
there.
they
Like
have
it's
they
gonna
have
be.
so much talent.
We were robbed of that game in the midweek. I can't wait to see City versus Arsenal. Uh, you know what game I did see? I saw I saw Liverpool versus Leeds. Now, uh, This is interesting. Uh, it was like an early Halloween treat because I think it was in like the was it the first 5 minutes or something like that. And after like for some reason, Leeds' goalkeeper did something stupid. They get the ball back. They're going up the pitch. Joe Gomez wins possession, and he passes back to Allison. Allison, for some reason, was in a weird area of his box. Gomez put it into which should have been kind of a safe area. The pass was too hard. Well wide. Allison looked like he fell asleep, not expecting the ball back, even though Gomez was looking that way. And Rodrigo was right there, to bounce on it, and a quick,
Yeah, I saw that pass. That
a
was bad.
awful. That was awful. That was Chelsea versus Leeds bad. Awful, awful, awful. Easy conversion there for Rodrigo. Uh, but after that, Liverpool took over. They were everywhere. They were hammering them with chances. Salah finally gets gets another one to go, and he looked terrific all game. Uh, it's I'm explaining that Liverpool was terrific. Leeds were not. And then the 89th minute, just a simple play by Summer. He's in the box. Doesn't look threatening. He has two guys around him, and he just puts a soft shot on net, and it just bounces in. It bounces in. It looked like Allison didn't even try. He just watched it go over his arms. It was the slowest one of the slowest goals I've ever seen, especially from that spot. And Liverpool are sunk again. That's 4 losses. 4 losses for Liverpool. They're through 12 games, 4-4-4. Unbelievable. They're
It's
in ninth.
yeah, it's been weird to see Liverpool this bad this year. Like they lost Mane, and that was a
Yep.
big loss, but I didn't think it'd be this big of a loss.
Getting Darwin Nunez and stuff, or Nunez from you'd think that with the money they paid, they'd expect more, and he's another headbutter, a guy who's lost time for headbutting this year. It's
Yep.
just strange. Nothing seems to be working for Klopp. I'm not going to cry for this, except crying with joy. Is that still a thing? Do people still do that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, I'm going to do it. It's, it's about the small victories for me this weekend, Adelia. Chelsea awful. Spurs come back from 2 goals down in the second half to win.
That makes me angry.
Mm,
I didn't
but
notice that.
yes, uh, Fuck. Uh, Another Liverpool defeat, and and they were looking class. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This Alain Melier was the goaltender for Leeds, and he was absolutely terrific. I think he made 9 saves. There were none of the, well, maybe one with the rolling in kind of things where you drop on it, but he was reaching out. He was running to get into position. He held that club together. He should be the player of the week in the Premier League, despite all the goals that everybody else scored and stuff like that. He was that important to the win. Good job by Melier. And I wonder if this uh, with the World Cup coming up. He's the French goalie. I wonder if he gives Loris a little run for his money. Loris, of course, captain over in Idiotville's Tottenham. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little goalie controversy there. Something just to play with Loris's mind. I'd love it. I'd love it.
Anything.
But that's the week. Now, as always, we did our picks leading up to this. I gotta say, it was a pretty close week.
Was it?
It was pretty close. Uh, it was final score was 7-5. Now, uh, we each get a draw right? We each got a draw right.
Hmm.
One of us got a draw wrong.
Okay.
That proved to be a bit of a difference, but it wasn't the only difference. I think somebody only had 3 mistakes. That person who wins 7-5 was Adelia. Adelia won,
Wow.
going away, no problem. The ones you missed, as you picked Brentford to win over Spurs in that draw. We both picked Chelsea, like idiots. And Liverpool, we both picked Liverpool, and those are the only ones you got wrong. You got the 2 upsets and a draw that didn't come in.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
you were bang on there.
So
Now,
what's the season standings?
oh, you've got 2, and we tied a week. So uh, I'm still ahead. Sorry, you have
Yeah.
3 now. I believe you have 3, and we have a
3.
drawn week.
Okay.
So yeah, it's inching closer. And you're on a bit of a heater over the last 5 weeks, I believe. You're 3-1-1.
I've gotten a sense of what the teams are actually like at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Beginning of the season, it was very rough for me, picks wise.
Mm-hmm. It took you a bit to get going, but as soon as you did, oh
Yeah.
my god! And then we had that one week where we were terrible. I think the score was 2 to -1. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was not good. But we're pulling it back together. If you would have been betting this week, you would have done pretty good. Of course, we also would have bet Chelsea and Liverpool to win, but you know,
Yeah.
there's that. Now, let's do this week. I got you, just in case rehearsals went long. I got you to send in your picks for the week coming up, but I haven't
Hmm.
done my picks. So Leeds and Bournemouth started off the week. You picked a draw here.
Yes.
Now, I think it's a fair pick. I just thinking that maybe Leeds can piggyback off of that win against uh, win against Liverpool, and Bournemouth are the same squad that dropped points to Tottenham. So I'm going to pull the first game. First game, we have a difference. I'm going to go for Leeds for the win.
Okay.
City Fulham. You pick City.
City.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous to think that Fulham. Well, it's not ridiculous. Fulham's
It's not
been
ridiculous. Yeah, Fulham's been decent,
yeah.
but they're not City.
They're not winning at the Etihad.
Yeah.
No, there's your uh, Forest and Brentford. You know what?
I went Brentford.
You went for Brentford. Forest is a funny team. They had that huge win against Liverpool, uh, and then they put in an absolute stinker. So which side is it? Brentford
Yeah.
has trouble scoring goals. It's in good old Nottingham. This is a match I'm going to say is a draw.
Okay.
Wolves and Brighton. You pick the Seagulls to win.
Yep.
Wolves are going to be without a striker, obviously. It should be obvious.
It should
And
be.
even if they, even if Costa plays, I think it's still a relatively easy pick for Brighton. You are right there. Everton and Leicester. This is a tough one. Did you pick Everton because they're playing at the Merseyside?
I mean, yeah, Leicester's been playing better recently, but I still
Mhm.
just have very little faith in them. Since Everton's at home, I figured, they probably can at least score a goal, get a
Well,
win.
they both had trouble scoring goals this week. Everton is at home. Leicester, I thought, played City very well. If they play the same kind of defense against City, they should have no problems with Everton. But can we expect a team that has been so inconsistent to find that consistency 2 weeks in a row? I don't think so. I think you're right. I think Everton's going to win that match. So
Yeah.
I'm picking Everton as well. Now, first off, this next match is Chelsea Arsenal. I'm going to say, how dare you? How unbelievably dare you?
Did you honestly expect me not to pick Arsenal in this match?
At Stamford Bridge?
At Stamford Bridge, with the way
Yeah,
Chelsea's been playing?
you're right. You know what? If I was a sane man, of course I'd pick Arsenal. But how fun would it be if I picked Arsenal? It's like, yeah, we get it. Arsenal should win. How fun would that be?
Would not be fun at all.
It would be baloney. And pardon my language. It would be rancid baloney. I'm going to pick Chelsea in maybe the upset of the year so far. Well, I wouldn't say that, but
I don't know
and
about that,
maybe
but
the upset of the week.
upset of the
Chelsea to
week.
defeat Arsenal. Maybe they can get it together. We play so well against Arsenal, and it's at home. And maybe they're shamed. And maybe they'll be threatened. Who knows? It's the most difficult C I'm putting down of the year. Yeah, but yeah, at least it'll be fun. It'll be fun to bring up next week.
Yeah.
Once I
Yeah.
cry myself to sleep. Uh, Villa, Manchester United. You've got Manchester United. I
Yep.
think that's an easy call, especially the
Yeah.
way Villa looked this weekend, getting their teeth kicked in by Newcastle. Man
Does
U's
Villa
looking
have a new
better.
manager yet?
Nope. Yes, they do. They hired the guy from Villarreal, and it was why can't I remember his name?
Unai
He was
Emery.
right. He was an Arsenal manager.
He was Arsenal manager. I feel sorry for the Aston Villa fans.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
He's his well, he does good in Europa League. He's a good Europa manager. He wins that quite a
When
bit.
is Aston Villa going to get to the Europa League?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, his work visa doesn't take effect till November 1st. So yes, he will be at Villa Park to lose to Manchester United this
He's
weekend.
Man United. Okay.
Yeah. Southampton, Newcastle. Newcastle, you pick. Newcastle, I
Newcastle.
pick. What a run they're going on, and should have no problem with the Saints.
Yeah.
None. Okay, West Ham and Palace, and you're picking a draw. This is your draw
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I have no faith in West Ham. I have no faith in Palace, really. Palace should be able to beat West Ham, but it's at West Ham, so I don't want the draw.
Palace has been playing better. They got two guys that can put the ball in the net. Edouard and Zaha. I just think I think the quality Crystal Palace has should be able to beat a team like West Ham. So I am picking Palace. Now, last game of the week from Tottenham's ridiculous new NFL-based, or probably stadium, taking on Liverpool. You got Spurs at home.
Spurs at home. With the way Liverpool are playing, they're playing decent but they can't seem to get out of their own way sometimes. And Spurs are too good that if a team like Leeds and some of these other teams that have beaten Liverpool this year can beat Liverpool, Spurs can beat Liverpool.
Here's the deal. I think Liverpool plays well against top tier talent.
Yeah.
I think for some reason I don't know if they just throw in a half-hearted effort against the teams they feel are beneath them in quality, and it bites them in the ass. But just look at the match against City, uh, best match of the year. They
Match against
played
City,
so
yeah.
they played so well,
They played well against Arsenal
and they played
too,
well against
but
Arsenal. Our Spurs, who can give up goals, ready for an upset at home. Another one upset at home. I think they are. I think I'm going to pick Liverpool in this just to go
okay,
nuts. It's Halloween.
it's
Why
Halloween.
not go nuts?
Yeah.
You're oh Liverpool. So it's I have not heard a single kid. It's early evening here in Canada. I have not heard a single kid uh, at the door for candy yet. I remember
Hmm.
when I was a kid, it was like 4:30 or something like that. Like, who cares for dinner? We're gonna go get candy.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. Also, one thing
It
I've
does in
noticed.
certain places.
Oh yeah.
It does in certain places. I was talking to our buddy Ryan Christensen earlier, who'd had a
Oh,
hundred and
he's no
something
friend of mine.
kids already.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah.
Uh, what did you yell? Like, is it an American thing? Like yelling trick or treat?
Trick or
Is that?
treat, yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't what I had growing up. I think ours is a very English way of doing it. Like we would sing like Halloween apples. That's what we would say at the door.
Halloween apples? I've
Halloween
never
apples.
I've
Yeah,
never heard that before. No, you go to the door, ring doorbell, trick or treat, get some
it's
candy,
changed.
leave.
It's changed. Like now, kids are saying, once in a blue moon, I'll still hear Halloween apples. Uh, but yeah, it's trick or treat. Trick or treat's taken over now. Um, but it doesn't matter to me because I made sure all my lights were off and I put the you know made sure that all the television was done and stuff like that. Wife's hiding in the bedroom. It's like we are not giving out any more candy to kids. Plus, most of the kids that come by now are like 18 years old. It's like, go get a
Yeah.
job, you dummies. Kidding me?
We had
17
a
years old.
neighborhood wide thing on Saturday. So all the kids came trick or treating in the neighborhood on Saturday, and we haven't had any trick or treaters tonight because of it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. What were your favorite? Like, I remember when I was a kid, I was the weird one. I wasn't a huge chocolate bar guy. My favorite ones were like you get like popcorn balls or candy apples. Those are my two favorite things. And I think if
Yeah.
anybody handed out those things these days, they go to prison.
Yeah, you probably, unless they're prepackaged things, not gonna have the parents let them eat, the kids eat them.
Do kids get pissed off if they don't get chocolate bars these days?
I don't know what kind of candy the kids like these days because it's
No.
been probably almost 25 years since I've done any of this Halloween stuff.
Oh
I'm
boy.
not in charge of manning the door. My mom buys a bunch of chocolate and fun size candy bars and things to give to the trick or treaters, but I don't
How much
know.
are you hoping that no kids come by just so you can get out that candy?
Well, not really. I'm not a big chocolate person,
Oh, you're
so
smart.
yeah.
See, yeah, I'm on a diet and I'm not allowed to have chocolate and stuff like that. But goddamn, I would be like this,
Yeah.
eyeing up that bowl. The wife would have to hide it from me again. Uh, so this has been Halloween talk on the special edition of the Starting 11. Adelia's back, everybody,
Yeah.
and depending how
Special
she
edition
feels,
of Starting 11, where you're
yes,
in a mask. I have a
mm-hmm.
tiara on. It's been a
Right,
little different.
it's yes, and we'll see what mask I wear next week. Oh,
You're gonna wear a
it's
mask at
not
the beginning of
Halloween next week.
November. It's not Halloween
Yeah,
next week.
it's Canadian Halloween. It's different.
Canadian
We just
Halloween, okay.
yeah, we just do things different here. Uh, Adelia, are you? Hopefully, you'll have a little more rest be able to watch a few
Yeah.
more games this coming week. But I am so thankful I didn't have to talk this entire episode myself and basically have to listen to my own thoughts, which are disturbing.
Well, I am glad to be back. I will hopefully be back again next week with having watched more matches than I did this week. Sort of a last minute decision to come on the show today, so
Nice.
I I am looking forward to talking about Arsenal versus Chelsea with you, though. So
Yes, that of course the highlight next week: Arsenal versus Chelsea. Will this show survive? Arsenal v Chelsea next week. I think it will
it will.
because I really I don't have much hope for
Do
my
you
boys.
do you know why it will survive Arsenal versus Chelsea talk next week? So we're
Uh-oh,
gonna be on
why?
YouTube soon, Snark.
Oh, a YouTube. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
The Let's Get
For
Ready Network
free.
has, for free, no Patreon exclusive videos anymore. The Starting 11 back catalog and Starting 11 will be on YouTube starting in mid-November. The Let's Get Ready Network now has its own sports-centric YouTube channel, Let's Get Ready Network The Highlights. Search for that, you should find it, and you can subscribe there. On that channel right now is Ferris's interview with sports writer Jeff Pearlman. He's a New York Times bestselling author. He wrote a new book about Bo Jackson, different kind of
Yeah.
football, I know, but it's an excellent interview and you should check it out and subscribe to that channel. And then starting around the mid-November, we'll start having Starting 11 on that channel every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific.
Ooh. It has a broadcast time and everything.
It has a
So,
broadcast time now.
and I'll have to wear a shirt every episode.
Yes.
God damn. Oh well. All right. Well, if you guys want a boring follow, you can follow me at Snark Yeti. You can follow Adelia Chamberlain. It's right there on the thing, guys.
Yeah.
Right there.
At Adelia Chambo for the audio listeners.
I'm slowly figuring out what direction is which to point at things.
Yeah, which
Yes.
direction to point, yeah.
Thanks for watching. Oh my god, can you imagine Arsenal Chelsea next week? And we'll talk to you after that.
See you next week, guys.